Most people will work for 40 years, putting in thousands of hours of labor and still never feel truly financially secure. It is a startling reality, but it is not because they are lazy or lacking in ambition. In fact, many of these individuals are some of the hardest workers you will ever meet. The reason they stay stuck is because of a few invisible money habits. These habits feel completely normal because everyone around us is doing them, but they quietly trap people in average financial lives, ensuring they stay on the treadmill regardless of how fast they run. Have you ever wondered why some people earn more every single year but still stay broke? Today, we are breaking down the habits that keep people stuck and revealing what the wealthy do differently to achieve lasting financial independence. Consider the typical life script we are all taught from a young age. You go to school, you get a good job, and you work hard. As you progress in your career, you receive raises and promotions. Naturally, you upgrade your lifestyle to reflect your new status. You buy a nicer house, drive a newer car, and eat at better restaurants. Yet, despite the higher salary, the feeling of being broke never actually goes away. You are simply living a more expensive version of the same stressed out life. This is the paradox of the average earner. Income increases, but wealth does not. The real issue here is not a lack of intelligence or a lack of effort. It is a fundamental pattern of behavior. The first habit is one almost everyone learns from childhood, and it is perhaps the most difficult to break. This habit is lifestyle inflation, the process where your spending increases at the exact same rate as your income, or sometimes even faster. Imagine your first job out of college. You lived in a tiny apartment, ate simple meals, and made it work. Then you got a raise. Instead of keeping your expenses low and saving the difference, you moved into a bigger apartment. You got another promotion and decided it was finally time for that luxury car lease. Every time more money comes in, it immediately disappears into lifestyle upgrades. This is a trap because you are essentially running on a hedonic treadmill. You are working harder just to maintain a new baseline of comfort, leaving nothing left for wealth building. The wealthy understand a different truth. They increase their assets, not their expenses. They treat a raise as an opportunity to buy more investments, not more furniture. Until you break the cycle of matching your outgoings to your incomings, you will always be one paycheck away from disaster. But the next habit is even more dangerous because it feels responsible. Many people believe they are doing the right thing by saving their money in a traditional bank account. They were told that saving is the key to security. However, saving instead of investing is a habit that quietly keeps you average. The problem with only saving money is that inflation silently destroys your purchasing power every single day. If you leave $10,000 in a savings account earning 0.1% interest while inflation is running at 5 or 6%, you are effectively losing money. You are working for the money, but the money is not working for you. To achieve true financial independence, your money must grow faster than the cost of living. Consider a scenario where you save $10,000 and leave it in a drawer for 20 years. At the end, it is still $10,000, but it buys half as much as it used to. If you had invested that same $10,000 into a diversified index fund, it could have potentially quadrupled in value over that same period. The illusion of safety in a savings account is one of the biggest hurdles to overcome, but the next habit is the one that quietly keeps people stuck for decades without them even realizing it. Most people are trapped in the habit of trading their time for money forever. This is the classic paycheck cycle. You show up to work, you perform a task, and you get paid. If you stop showing up, the money stops coming in. This keeps people average because there is a hard ceiling on how much you can earn. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you can only work so many of them before you burn out. Relying on a single income source from a job is mathematically risky. If that one source disappears, your entire financial world collapses. Wealthy individuals focus on creating or acquiring assets that produce income regardless of whether they are physically working. This could be through dividend-paying stocks, real estate, a business, or intellectual property. They realize that the goal isn't to work for money forever, but to have money work for them. When your passive income exceeds your living expenses, you are truly free. Without this shift, you are simply a high-paid prisoner of your own schedule. But here is the habit that destroys wealth the fastest. There is a massive difference between buying assets and buying liabilities that look like assets. Average money habits often revolve around social validation spending. This means buying things specifically to look wealthy to other people. You see this with expensive cars, designer clothing, and the constant need for the latest technology upgrades. Many people view their home as their greatest asset, but if it is taking money out of your pocket pocket every month for the mortgage, taxes, and maintenance, it is technically a liability in terms of cash for flow. Middle-class purchases often look rich on the outside but create long-term poverty on the inside. A luxury car loses a massive chunk of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. It is a depreciating liability. Meanwhile, a portfolio of stocks or a rental property is an asset that has the potential to grow and pay you back. The psychological trap of needing to look successful before you actually are successful is what keeps the millionaire next door hidden and the broke person in a Porsche visible. But the most subtle habit of all isn't about spending, it's about your timeline of thinking. Short-term thinking is the hallmark of the average financial mindset. The average person thinks in terms of weekly bills and monthly salaries. They look for immediate gratification. If they have extra money on Friday, they want to spend it by Saturday. They view the future as something far away that will somehow take care of itself. In contrast, the wealth mindset is built on 10 to 20-year decisions. Wealthy people understand the power of long-term compounding, which Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world. They are willing to sacrifice a little bit of comfort today for massive freedom a decade from now. Think about two people. One starts investing $500 a month at age 25 and another starts at age 35. The 10-year head start doesn't just mean more contributions, it means a vastly larger end result because the growth compounds on itself. Patience is a financial superpower that most people never develop because they are too focused on the next 30 days. If these habits keep people average, what are the habits that actually build wealth? Let's look at the quick shift. Instead of spending your raises, you should be investing your raises. Instead of just saving, you should be investing consistently in productive assets. Instead of relying on one income source, you must work toward creating multiple income streams. Instead of buying status symbols, you should be buying assets that will eventually pay for those status symbols later. And most importantly, instead of thinking about the next month, you must start thinking about the next several decades. Wealth is not just about how much money you make, it is mostly about your behavior. You can earn $1 million a year and still be average if you spend $1,001. The big realization you must come to is that the difference between staying average and becoming wealthy is found in small daily decisions repeated over years. Most people do not stay average because of bad luck or a lack of opportunity. They stay average because they fall into habits that feel normal and comfortable. It feels normal to buy a new car when yours is 5 years old. It feels normal to spend your tax refund on a vacation. It feels normal to keep all your money in a bank account. But if you want results that are not normal, you have to stop acting like everyone else. You have to be willing to look unsuccessful in the short term so that you can become truly wealthy in the long term. Which of these habits do you recognize in your own life? Is it the urge to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a win? Is it the fear of moving money out of a savings account and into the market? Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking them. Changing just one of these habits today can completely alter the trajectory of your financial future. Wealth isn't a destination you reach by luck. It is a result of the habits you choose to live by every single day. Stop following the average script and start writing your own.